Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to this special edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. It's that time of the week again to count down the 10 hottest cards of the week, and it is a very interesting week in the secondary market. Right now, I think a lot of players are waiting to see what Kamigawa Neon Dynasty preview season is going to bring before they make purchases, especially when it comes to standard cards. So there's a lot of areas of the market that are pretty calm. But whenever the market calms down, you do see a lot of players gravitating back to the older cards again, and you will see that in today's video. Before we get into the details, though, just a fast reminder, if you go to FlipsideGaming.com, you can use the HEROES promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. Currently, you can pre-order Kamigawa Neon Dynasty products there. They also have a whole lot of other things on their website. And right now, their holiday sale is still going on at time of recording, so if you can catch that, there are a number of items that are already reduced in price, and then you can still use the HEROES promo code to get a further discount. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. Also, whenever you use that promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated, so thank you. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 10 is Elvish Reclaimer. This goes up $1.01 this week to $7 for a 17% increase. And this is a good time to let you know how we compile our top 10 every week. We're looking at two major pieces of criteria. The first is a percentage increase in the value of the cards, and the second is a true increase in sales out there. So if you're expecting a card to make the top 10 and you do not see it, then it did fall short in one or both of those categories. With that out of the way, let's talk more about Elvish Reclaimer. This is a fairly popular commander card. It is in Elvish the Chronoclasm, of course, and many other builds. It is worth noting, too, that a number of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty leaks do interact with the graveyard. These are leaks, so they're not confirmed yet, but with preview season quickly approaching, we're going to know more soon. Number 9 is Reflect Damage, up $1.03 to $6.40 for a 19% increase. Now, this does see a little commander play, but there are a couple Kamigawa Neon Dynasty cards that could be pushing this along. They are both legendary creatures that you could build commander decks around, and since they are leaks, I'm not going to go into all the details of the cards. There's a lot of players that prefer to wait until the card is officially previewed before they find out about it, and I do want to respect that. But if you're curious as to what I'm referring to, the two cards that I have in mind are Kyodai Soul of Kamigawa and Rizona Asari Commander. Also, though, remember that this is a reserve list card, and I do think that's why it's moving as much as it is this week. Like I did say at the top of the video, sometimes when the market is calmer, players start going back looking for these older cards, especially reserve list cards. Number 8 is a card that does see a good amount of play. This is Elvish Reclaimer. It goes up $1.09 to $6.18 for a 21% increase. In Legacy, it's in Elves, Selesny, as well as Sultai Depths. It's in Lands, Mono Green Cloudpost, and also Abzan Loam in that format. Beyond that, it is a very popular commander card. You'll find it in Omnith Locus of Creation and a lot of other decks in the format. I do think, however, this card also is moving at least in part because of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty leaks. We have seen 2 lands with the channel mechanic leaked. This basically gives you the option to pay a mana cost and discard the land to get an activated ability to trigger. These channel lands could help fill your graveyard with lands, which is good for Elvish Reclaimer, obviously. Number 7 is Dominating Licit. It goes up $1.50 to $6.95. That is a 28% increase. And this is another example of a card that sees a little commander play currently, but maybe it's getting pushed by some Kamigawa Neon Dynasty leaks, as well as the fact that it's on the reserve list. Judging from the card leaks we have seen, it does appear that auras will play a role to some degree in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Again, though, it feels like this is moving the way that it is due more to its status on the reserve list than anything. Number 6 is Crumbling Sanctuary. This goes up $2.04 this week to $7.50. That is a 37% increase. It is an older card that's yet to be reprinted, and it has seen a little more commander play recently in some Umbra Sphere Manifest decks. Number 5 has something in common with number 6. It is an older card that's yet to be reprinted. It is Helm of Possession. It goes up $2.16 this week to $9.47 for a 30% increase. It does get a little commander play. Number 4 is Flickering Ward. This goes up $3.30 to $11.83. That is a 39% increase. Third verse, same as the first. It is another older card yet to be reprinted. Like I mentioned earlier, it does appear that auras are going to play a role in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. And beyond that, we know the names of the 2 commander decks coming out alongside the product. One of them is Upgrades Unleashed, and assuming that white is one of the colors there, I do think this might be a good upgrade, assuming it doesn't get reprinted, I suppose. We have seen a couple more specific leaks that could be pushing this as well. The cards I'm thinking of are Light Pause, Emperor's Voice, and Kami of Transience. As a matter of fact, not too long ago, Commander's Quarters did a video discussing a potential commander build around Light Pause, Emperor's Voice, and this card was mentioned in that video. Could have brought some more attention to it. Number 3 is Martyr's Cry. This goes up $3.13 this week to $20.85. That is an 18% increase. And guess what? The top 3 cards this week are all reserve list cards from the Dark. So when it comes to gameplay, this barely sees play anywhere. But as I've been saying, there is a lot of interest this week in older cards, especially from the Dark. For a little over a week now, there's been some clear activity around some of the cards from that set, and we are seeing varying degrees of targeted buyouts. Now, Alpha Investments, as well as some other content creators, discussed this trend over the course of the week, which may have brought more attention to these cards. Number 2 is our next reserve list card from the Dark. It is Exorcist. It goes up $7.97 this week to $36. That is a 28% increase. And this one does see just a tad bit of commander play, and sure, even though this does look like a buyout, it is worth noting that this may play well with one of the recent Kamigawa leaks. That's Junji the Midnight Sky, and perhaps that's part of the reason this was targeted. And finally, number 1 is Frankenstein's Monster. This reminds me a lot of Eater of the Dead from last week. It is going up $62.42 to $84.87 for a 278% increase. Now this one, unlike Eater of the Dead, is on the reserve list, but they're both from the Dark. Now this is another card that does see just a tiny bit of commander play. Again, we have seen some Kamigawa leaks that focus on the graveyard and sacrificing. Maybe that is part of the reason why this card was chosen. Remember, there have been other cards too that were recently bought out that interact with the graveyard. I mentioned Eater of the Dead, but also Gravestorm was bought out not too long ago too. Even if you put all of that aside, Frankenstein's Monster is just a very unique card. Typically, you see this card go up every Halloween season, at least to some degree. It is considered a zombie if you look at the Oracle text, and it does have real-world lore attached to it. You don't see that anymore. So I could see where this is just an interesting card for collectors in general. However, be careful if you're looking to make a purchase right now, because with these buyouts, many times these copies return back to the marketplace very quickly, which is why you see the spike and then the crash. Or in some cases, players just decide, I've been holding on to a couple of copies of these for years. Maybe this is a good time to sell them. All of a sudden, a whole bunch of new copies enter the marketplace. And that's going to do it for this week's Top 10 Hot Cards of the Week. Remember to join us this weekend for our regular episode of the Market Watch, where we deep dive into everything that's happening in the secondary market. But until then, hey, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.